We lived in condemned buildings, certainly apartments infested with rats.
Before she became an acting legend, Viola Davis didn't have it easy. She went through a lot as a child, and it shaped her into the person she is today. But what actually happened to her? And how did she get out of that painful situation? Without wasting any time, let's get straight into it. In her memoir titled Finding Me, Viola opened up about all the shame, poverty, violence, and many other tragedies that she went through as a child. She also explained how all of those experiences shaped her into the woman she is today. It all started with a neighborhood she grew up in. According to Viola, she grew up in a mainly white neighborhood in an apartment that barely had water and electricity. And to make matters worse, it was also filled with rats. As if that wasn't bad enough, she had to constantly endure the pain of watching her father harm her mother. According to Viola, this happened pretty much every other day. But that wasn't even the worst part of it all for her. The worst part was that there was nothing she could do to change her or her mother's situation. And looking back at it all, in her interview with Joy Behar on The View, Viola admitted that she felt shame because of it. She also explained how she felt isolated because of everything happening around her, but also because she grew up in a mostly white neighborhood that she felt spit her out because she didn't belong. And to make things worse, there was no one around her to give her any kind of insight into what it meant to be Black. And when you add this to the effects of the daily trauma she went through, Viola shared that she had to internalize her struggles to get by. Even though it's been a while since she lived through all of this, according to Viola, it still feels like yesterday, and sometimes she has a hard time talking about it. Just sharing her stories of colorism and growing up in poverty takes her back to a place she would really like to put behind her. And it definitely doesn't paint a picture of her being the boss that most people consider her to be right now. This was part of the reason why Viola decided to sit down and write her book. Finding Me was Viola's way of making the statement. This is who I am, and I'm tired of filtering it. In the opening pages of her book, Viola recalls a particular story from her childhood that she'll probably never forget. And it happened when she was just 8 years old. Back then, she got chased by a group of boys every single day on her way back from school. What made it even worse was that they threw bricks at her and then made some racist comments about her. Now, according to Viola, this experience kind of defined her. She explained that when you're out in the world, no one tells you who you are and how you're supposed to live and how you're supposed to feel joy or find peace. So for her, those boys who threw bricks at her defined her. But the TV she watched also defined her, and every other thing she encountered every day of her life defined her. Because in the absence of everything else, you hold on to what you can see. You know what you're doing is wrong and you hate it too, but you can't fight it because you don't have the tools to fight it. And being put in this type of position feels like you're being thrown into the raging sea. And this was exactly how she felt. But despite all of this, Viola still had some people that looked out for her and cared for her. According to her, some teachers helped her to get through all of what she endured growing up. And some of them even went out of their way for her, even during her darkest times. There was even a time when she apparently called one of her teachers from a payphone because she was having a panic attack and didn't know what else to do. And within 30 minutes, he was there, right in her class. He interrupted the class and took her out because he had to talk to her at that moment. This teacher, alongside others, carried her along even when she couldn't carry herself. Looking back at it all during the interview with The Breakfast Club, Viola revealed her real feelings about all of this. She explained that the pain, the trauma, and everything else is all the same to her. These feelings and experiences aren't just detours or anything like that. They are a part of life. And if you refuse to lean into them, you refuse to become connected to yourself. Once Viola was able to lean into all of this, it made all of the difference. And it helped her to get where she is today. According to Leaders League, Viola attended Rhode Island College on a full scholarship. She actually majored in theater. After that, she attended the Juilliard School of Art for 4 years before she was able to step out into the acting world. Her first paycheck from acting was $518 for a one-day appearance in the 1996 movie The Substance of Fire. Her next role came in an episode of NYPD Blue. However, it wasn't until 4 years into her acting career that she finally got her big break. This happened thanks to her role as Nurse Lynette Peeler in the TV series City of Angels. And in 2001, after playing the role of Tanya in King Hedley II, she won her first major award. She won a Tony as well as a Drama Desk Award. 3 years after this, she won her second Drama Desk Award for her work in intimate apparel. From that moment on, there was no stopping her or her success. In 2008, Viola was nominated for a Golden Globe and an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her role role as Mrs. Miller in the adaptation of the Broadway play Doubt. And in 2015 and 2016, she won 2 consecutive Screen Actor Guild Awards for outstanding performance by a female actor in a drama series. In addition to this, she also made history as the first ever Black actress to win an Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a drama series for her role as Annalise Keaton in How to Get Away with Murder. Then, she started 2017 out with a bang by taking home the Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actress for her role in the movie Fences after 2 previous nominations with no wins. And in 2022, she joined the shortlist of EGOT winners after taking home a Grammy for her memoir audiobook narration, making her the 3rd Black actress to become an EGOT winner, right after Whoopi Goldberg and Jennifer Hudson. Throughout her career, Viola has received well over 100 nominations and 80+ award wins. This just goes to show that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. Now, Viola is very open about how her childhood shaped her into the person she is today, even though it wasn't a great one. But what do you guys think about her story? Did you know that she went through so much as a child? Are you surprised that she's so open about it all? What do you think about how she talks about her difficult childhood experiences? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below.